So a couple of weeks ago, I took a trip to Jackson Hole, which was my first time skiing in a US state other than Colorado. I have to be honest, the conditions when I went sucked absolute ass. The entire mountain was all ice, and the days it did snow, it didn't snow enough to mask it. So in this video, I am going to be going over where are the best runs to ski at Jackson Hole during a dry spell to salvage the most of your visit. What is happening, everybody? I hope you all are having a happy Friday. This Friday is a happy Friday because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Not necessarily a holiday that has mattered to me, as I am forever single. Any woman watching this video, if you don't want kids and you have a long bucket list of ski resorts to check out, I just want to let you know, I'm available. Anyway, one of the mountains on that long bucket list of mine, which I haven't gotten to fully cross off yet, is Jackson Hole. Why I wasn't able to fully complete that is because the conditions were dog shit, and very little of the gnar was open. So I'm going to have to make a trip back sometime to ski Corbett's, Alta 1 and 2, Tower 3, and the Casper runs, and of course the legendary SNS Couloir. Unfortunately, since I couldn't do any of those things, I had to figure out some way to salvage 5 fucking days there. So I am going to share with you some of the runs I enjoyed the most during my time there. Jackson Hole is a great mountain when it snows, but when it doesn't snow, the resiliency is not that great as the entire mountain faces east, so the sun will beat on a lot of the runs during dry spells. So during those times, if temperatures aren't getting above freezing, you want to try and look for north-facing terrain. North-facing terrain can even sometimes be undesirable, but is going to be the best snow quality you're going to get on the mountain. OpenSkiMap is a great source to use to see what direction each run faces, so you know which ones are worth trying and which ones to avoid like the plague. In this video, I will give you top 5 runs you can count on when conditions aren't ideal. Starting at number 5, we have Flip Point off of the sublet chair. Flip Point is a very nice steep mogul field that has very chalky bumps. You want to stay to the skier's right of the run when you do it, otherwise you end up in Laramie Bowl, which could get pretty iced out as it faces less north and more east, as well as it is where more skier traffic is going to be, as that run has the pitch of a blue. So it's basically a double-edged sword. You're doing a less challenging run, and you are also skiing in worse conditions. Once you get down Flip Point, you immediately want to jump on the groomer Laramie. Do not traverse to the right by the altitudes, as those bumps tend to be a bit more icy for some reason. Moving on to number 4, we have Wally World. Wally World is lappable off of the sublet chair, but it does require a bit of traversing around the Cheyenne Bowl. It is most easily accessible from the Rendezvous Bowl off the tram, but that is not a practical lap for most people. The drop-in from the looker's right of Wally World could be a bit sharky, so if you're not a fan of that, I suggest doing it more to the looker's left, right above the trees. During times when Wally World gets a bit hard-packed, you can hit the trees to the skier's right between Wally World and Bivouac. I recommend avoiding Bivouac, as it can get very icy. It's a groomer, icy groomer. Yes, even more icy than Rosie's run at Copper. The trees to the skier's right of Bivouac are goated and are a good honorable mention. I do recommend giving those a try. Moving on to number 3, we have North Hoback. Now this one is exclusively for the north part of Hoback, as if you go any more skiers right, you're just going to hit terrain that isn't north facing, so it will be like an asphalt road that hasn't been paved in 50 years. Anyway, if you want the best snow quality on North Hoback, you want to take the traverse all the way out to the open mogul field and drop in and immediately cut into the trees. Try to stay away from any portions of that run that don't face north, as there will be some sections of the run that will slope towards the south and the east that will be crusty. If you stay in the trees, you won't have that problem, but the caveat to that is you end up in Cheyenne Gully if you go too far down too quickly. So to avoid the Cheyenne Gully, you want to stay high in the trees. You want to keep staying high, keep traversing to the right whilst also staying in the trees, avoiding anything that faces south or east. But make sure that you keep staying high, because otherwise if you do end up in Cheyenne Gully, you're gonna fucking hate your life if you try to ski it. As long as you stay high in the trees and don't go down too low, you will eventually exit the trees at a cliff area. You then ski to the right from the cliff area and re-enter the main mogul field. You just take that down all the way to the Union Pass traverse. I will note that it might get a little gnarly towards the end, as there are a lot of exposed rock. Unfortunately, Hoback is a bitch to lap, as it requires skiing all the way down to Union Pass and riding that slow-ass residential lift to get back to the main Jackson Hole area. And in order to lap it again, you need to either take the tram back up to the top, or take Bridger to Thunder to Sublet. So it's either a tram lap, or a 3-lift lap. So it is a bitch to lap. So I recommend going into that with low expectations. Do it in a top to bottom tram run or something, because that's not something that you're going to be getting a ton of laps on, especially if it's busy and crowded.
By Colorado to Colo Cook. I bet there's one particular individual that might be watching that is probably laughing their ass off at me saying that.
Moving on to number 2, we have Hoops Gap and the Mushroom Chutes. Hoops Gap is a marked run off of the Thunder Lift, which are steep glades that are widely spaced. To the skiers left of Hoops Gap are the Mushroom Chutes, which are not an official marked run, but it is also an alternative way to get into Tower 3 when that entrance is closed. That stuff all faces north, so the conditions should be at least decent. I 100% recommend that you check out that area. Now, moving on to number 1, which is my favorite run at Jackson Hole so far, is Paintbrush. Paintbrush has reliable snow quality, yes, but the main bonus you get from Paintbrush is the cave. The cave is something that is a must check out when you visit Jackson Hole. It is a very cool place to check out, although it can be a bit gnarly getting over there. To get to the cave, you ski down the top portion of Paintbrush just like normal. There is a permanently closed area to the right of Paintbrush. Eventually the rope that cuts off the closed area will end, and then after the rope ends you want to cut right and go around some of the rocks and cliffs, and eventually you will find the cave. Definitely worth checking out, but does require expert abilities as Paintbrush is a double black. But honestly, if you can't ski a double black, I don't know what the fuck you were doing at Jackson Hole in the first place.
There.
Anyway, hopefully during your visit to Jackson Hole you get better snow conditions than I did. But if you don't, I hope this is a good video to fall back on and hopefully will be helpful. Please check out my Discord, which is linked down below. It is a very chill place where we share recaps of our ski trips and other travels, a good opportunity to network with people, and hopefully if anybody is interested we can plan some meetups and group ski trips. Discord is the best way to get a hold of me, and the more people we can get in the community the better. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Please leave your feedback down below, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.